In the previous lecture, you have discussed the problems how to solve the greatest common divisor by using Euclidean algorithm and the relation between the greatest common divisor and least common multiple. So in this lecture, I'm going to discuss the what exactly the linear Diophantine equation and the solution of the linear Diophantine equation. We take a definition of linear Diophantine equation. An equation of the form ax plus by is equal to c is called an Diophantine equation in two variables x and y, where a, b, c are integers and a is not equal to 0 and b is not equal to 0. Example, the equation 2x plus 3y is equal to 12 is a Diophantine equation x comma y is equal to 3 comma 2 is a solution of the Diophantine equation 2x plus 3y is equal to 12. But the equation 8x plus 17y is equal to 7 has no solution. We know that 8x plus 17y is equal to 7 has no solution, but the question arises when the Diophantine equation has a solution. So what is the condition for solving the Diophantine equation? So for all those things we can discuss in this theorem. The linear Diophantine equation x plus by is equal to c has a solution if and only if d divides c. So where d is the GCD of a comma b. So this is first part of the theorem. If x naught y naught is any solution of any particular solution of this equation, then all other solutions are given by x is equal to x naught plus b by d into t and y is equal to y naught minus a by d into t, where t is an integer. So move to the proof of the theorem. The proof of the theorem is split into two parts. In the first part of the theorem, the linear Diophantine equation x plus by is equal to c has a solution if and only if d divides c, where d is equal to GCD of a comma b. The second part, so let x naught y naught be any particular solution of Diophantine equation. So then all other solutions are given by in this form x is equal to x naught plus b by d into t and y is equal to y naught minus a by d into t. So now let us move to the proof of the first part. The first part, suppose we assume that the Diophantine equation ax plus by is equal to c as a solution, then you have to prove that d divides c, where d is a GCD of a comma b, correct as equation 1. So if equation 1 has a solution, then there exist integers x naught and y naught such that a into x naught plus b into y naught is equal to c. Let us call it as equation number 2. Since d is equal to GCD of a comma b, so then this implies d divides a and d divides b also. So this implies a can be written as d into k1 and b is equal to d into k2 for some integers k1 and k2. We call it as equation number 3. Now using equation 3 in 2, we get, in place of a, take it as d into k1. So c is equal to d into k1 x naught plus, in place of b you take d into k2, d into k2 into y naught. So this is equal to, let us take a common d into k1 into x naught plus k2 into y naught. So this is equal to d into k, where k is equal to k1 into x naught plus k2 into y naught. Because k1, x naught, k2 and y naught are the integers, therefore k is also integer. So this implies we can write d divides c. Let us take converse part. Suppose d divides c, then we prove that the Diophantine equation ax plus by is equal to c as a solution. Now if d divides c, this implies, so c can be written as d into t. Let us call it as equation number 3. This is, since d is equal to GCD of a comma b, so d can be written as a linear combination of two integers a and b. Then there exist integers x naught, y naught, such that d is equal to a into x naught plus b into y naught. So for this you multiply by t, we'll get dt is equal to t into ax naught plus t into by naught. So but dt is equal to c using 3. So this implies c is equal to a into tx naught plus b into ty naught. So therefore when x is equal to t into x naught and y is equal to t into y naught is a solution of Diophantine equation ax plus by is equal to c. So let us conclude the first part of the proof of the theorem. So in the necessary part, you have taken the Diophantine equation as a solution. You proved that d divides c. Conversely, you assumed that d divides c, then you proved that the Diophantine equation as a solution of the form x equal to tx naught and y is equal to ty naught. Now let us move to the second part of the theorem. Suppose if x naught, y naught is any particular solution of this equation, then all other solutions are given by x equal to x naught plus b by d into t and y is equal to y naught minus a by d into t, where t is an integer. Now let us move to the second part of the proof of the theorem. Suppose x naught, y naught be a solution of the equation ax plus by is equal to c, then ax naught plus by naught is equal to c. Let us correct as equation number 4. So is a known solution of the Diophantine equation. If x dash and y dash is any other solution of Diophantine equation ax plus by is equal to c, then a into x dash plus b into y dash is equal to c. Let us correct as equation number 5. 5 minus equation 5 minus 4 implies a into x dash minus x naught plus b into y dash minus y naught RHS 0. C minus C becomes 0. So this implies a into x dash minus x naught is equal to b times of y naught minus y dash. Let us correct as equation number 6. Since GCD of a comma b is equal to d, then by the known theorem we have GCD of a by d comma b by d is equal to 1. Let a by d take it as r and b by d is equal to s, then GCD of r comma s is equal to 1. So from this equation a is equal to d into r and b is equal to d into s. Let us call equation number 7. Using 7 in 6 we get, in place of a we can write d into r, in place of b we write d into s. So equation 6 becomes d into r x dash minus x naught is equal to d into s into y naught minus y dash. So this implies r get cancelled, sorry d get cancelled here, r into x dash minus x naught is equal to s into y naught minus y dash. So this implies r divides s into y naught minus y dash. So here r and s are the co-primes. So this implies r divides y naught minus y dash. So since r and s are the co-primes, so since r and s are co-prime, therefore r does not divides s. So this implies r divides y naught minus y dash. So this implies y naught minus y dash is equal to r into t for some integers t. So let us, this implies y dash is equal to y naught minus r into t. Let us record equation number 8. So y dash can be written as y naught minus r into t. So this implies y dash is equal to y naught, but r is equal to, you have taken a by d. So this implies y dash is equal to y naught minus a by d into t. So this is one solution. This equation called as equation number 9. Now to find y dash, let us use the relation y minus y dash equal to rt for the equation, let us say star. So therefore we can write it as r into x dash minus x naught is equal to s into y naught minus y dash is equal to rt r into t. So this implies r get cancelled, x dash minus x naught is equal to s into t. So this implies x dash is equal to x naught plus s into t. So but s is equal to, you know that b by d. So this implies x dash is equal to x naught plus b by d into t. So this is solution. So therefore x dash is equal to x naught plus b by d into t, and y dash is equal to y naught minus a by d into t, where t is an integer. Let us call this equation as equation 10. Now for choice of integer t, it is easy to see the values satisfy the Diophantine equation. Now we know that ax dash plus by dash. So where x dash is x naught plus b by d into t, and y dash is y naught minus a by d into t. So a into x naught plus b by d into t plus b into y naught minus a by d into t. This is equal to ax naught plus a by b ab by d into t plus b into y naught minus a by ab by d into t. So plus ab by d into t minus ab by d into get cancel, that is equal to ax naught plus by naught. So you know x naught and y naught is a solution of Diophantine equation. So therefore this can be written as equation C. Therefore ax dash plus by dash is equal to C. Therefore you can write x dash and y dash be a solution of the Diophantine equation, and where t is an arbitrary integers. So thus we can write there are infinite number of solutions of the equation ax plus by is equal to c, one for each value of the integer t. We move to the example. You check whether the following Diophantine equations can be solved or not. The first problem is 6x plus 51y is equal to 22. So whether this equation can be solved or not, you have to verify that. So let us recall the statement of the theorem of the Diophantine equation. The condition for solution of the Diophantine equation. We know that the Diophantine equation ax plus by is equal to c as a solution if and only if d divides c, and where d is the GCD of A comma B. Now let us move to the first problem. Let us verify whether this equation can be solved or not. Let us take 6x plus 51y is equal to 22. Here A is equal to 6 and B is equal to 51. So GCD of 6 comma 51 is equal to 3. But where here in the problem C is equal to 22, but 3 does not divides 22. So this implies the Diophantine equation 6x plus 51y is equal to 22 has no solution. So let us consider the second problem. Second one is 33x plus 14y is equal to 115. Here A is equal to, let us take 33 and B is equal to 14. So let us find out the GCD of 33 comma 14. So GCD of 33 comma 14 is 1 because 33 and 14 are the co-primes, and here C is equal to 115 and D is equal to 1. So here 1 divides 115. So this implies the Diophantine equation 33x plus 14y is equal to 115 as a solution. Now let us consider the third example. (14x plus 35y is equal to 93). Here A is equal to 14 and B is equal to, let us take 35 and C is equal to 93. Let us find out the GCD of the two integers 14 and 35. So D is equal to GCD of 14 comma 35. So that is 7. But 7 does not divides 93. So this implies the given Diophantine equation 14x plus 35y is equal to 93 has no solution. So let us consider the fourth example. So fourth example is 12x plus 18y is equal to 30. So here you take A is equal to 12 and B is equal to 18 and C is equal to 30. Now GCD of 12 comma 18. So GCD of 12 comma 18 is 6. So 6 is the greatest common divisor of 12 and 18, and 6 divides 30 also. So this implies the given equation 12x plus 18y is equal to 30 has a solution.